Hey everyone, it's Leilani for God, and I'm back with another video. Shout out to all of my new subscribers. Please share my content with whoever you think would be interested in it, as well as across all of your social media platforms. This video is going to be very heavy, very dark, very serious. Okay, doing the research for this video, it brought tears to my eyes a number of times, and it just makes me feel very uncomfortable because these are the things that are hidden, that we could not imagine, that there are people in the world who are so monstrous and evil and demonic that they could hurt innocent children. But we're going to be exposing that today in this video, so I have to issue a trigger warning. If you are easily affected and or triggered by images of children being mistreated, of people who have experienced abuse of a very sexual nature or even physical abuse, if these things trigger you, you need to log off right now, because this is going to get very ugly, and it's just one of those type of videos. I can't fix that for you. Okay, we have to tell the truth about this demonic activity, because it continues to go on because it's kept a secret and hidden. Here we have on the screen Orlando Brown as a kid with panda eyes. This is Orlando Brown when he was just a little kid on the Jamie Foxx show about 20 or 30 years ago. And he has these panda eyes, these black eyes. Okay? And so now that more information has come out on the internet about what this means, people have been exposing it over the past few months. Now, Orlando Brown himself has been doing interviews over the past year exposing these type of things, such as panda eyes himself. When you Google it and you look up the images, you see Lady Gaga is wearing it like a fashion statement. Demonic spirit. You know, Lady Gaga talks about she can't sleep at night because she's haunted by demons. I wonder why. Panda eyes. It is pedo slang for child backdoor activity that is illegal, immoral, and demonic. When a child is forcibly hurt, its eyes can welt to black circles due to the blunt trauma involved, making their eyes look like that of a panda. There's apparel selling online that says panda eyes on it for the pedo community, as well as many pedos joking about this online with each other, talking about kids. There's many innocent symbols and codes they use to reference their deviant perversions, like pizza, which stands for a little girl lover, and hot dogs, which stands for little boy lovers. Pandas are one of their symbols. Believe it or not, I don't want to say that. Blank is often seen on pedo social media accounts when referencing pandas and children. Okay, below that it says child trafficking and symbolism. Celebrities love pandas, wonder why. Now we know there was a hit song a few years ago called Panda. They played that song everywhere. You couldn't escape it. That same rapper has had a number of mental breakdowns over the past few years. And just recently, I believe that panda rapper designer got arrested, like within the past week or two. I think he pulled out his penis in public and like showed it to somebody on an airplane or something. Was like masturbating in public, right? No surprise there, considering that he's behind the hit song Panda, that he would be a sexual deviant and a pervert. I found this online. Somebody posted this on Twitter. It says, and boom, the veil fell off. This innocent little angel, in his or her eyes, is the confirmation. People do this to children. These kids are first pedoed, beaten, tortured before given black eyes, only to form a panda face that for any evil reason is interesting to them when their eyes are black and the rest of their face is covered with pedo stuff. All right? All you got to do is Google children with panda eyes and look up the images. Why are pedos doing this to children? Because it is a satanic ritual. One of the names for the devil is Pan, and it is a man that's like a man's body with a goat legs. And this is why when Freemasons join the Masonic fraternities, they have to go through a ritual called riding the goat. Okay? So this is the devil doing some backdoor stuff, bestiality to an animal. This devil is also associated with music, which is one of the reasons why the music industry and the entertainment industries in specific have a lot of demonic symbolism that is very specific to this goat Pan. Okay? Pan is also a pedophile. Okay? You see, he's using the musical instrument to seduce this naked young man, whereas you can tell that this devil is way older than this younger person. All right? So these are people who literally worship the devil that do these type of things to children and will use the media, music, entertainment, cartoons, children's movies, toys as instruments of grooming children into pedo stuff that they want to do. There's an organization called NAMBLA, NAMBLA. These are adults who are advocating to become a part of the LGBT, whatever it's called, community. They want to add being pedos to that list, and they want to identify as older people who love younger people, underage people, and make that socially acceptable and legal for old people to engage with minors. All right, so there's real people fighting for this type of legislation. Let's get back to what this has to do with Orlando Brown and Jamie Foxx. Nick Cannon responds to Orlando Brown's gay allegations. All right, so at some point Orlando Brown accused Nick Cannon of some type of gay activity. Orlando Brown has accused a number of celebrities by name of being adults in the music industry, in the entertainment industry, that took advantage in a pedo way of children in the entertainment industry. All right. 4 months ago, body cam from the arrest of ex-Disney star Orlando Brown. Below that it says, this interview got Orlando Brown arrested, speaks on Balenciaga ad. So Orlando Brown did an interview where he talked about panda eyes and how it comes from children being taken advantage by pedos. And what pedos do to those little tiny children is what causes them to have panda eyes. At that time, Balenciaga, which I think the word translated Balenciaga is a like an oath to the devil. It has a meaning that's about the devil and worshiping the devil. So they have a campaign where they had dressed up these little tiny kids in like some type of sexualized stuff that kind of clothes people buy at sex stores. And they also have this child holding a panda. Okay, let's put two and two together. They're sexualizing children and selling merchandise that has pandas on it, when it's already been stated for the past few years that panda eyes on children is associated with them being SA'd by pedos. In another interview that Orlando Brown did on Cam Capone News 3 months ago, he talked about children getting black eyes from being pandaed, getting panda eyes from being pedoed. And someone in the comment section underneath that interview said, "You can see the trauma in him. It's sad how many children suffer and carry it into adulthood. Imagine how society looks with people supported, protected, and not exploited." Okay? So I just want you guys to understand that I'm doing this on a timeline. 10 months ago, Nick Cannon responded to Orlando Brown's gay allegations. 4 months ago, Orlando Brown did an interview exposing pedo activity in the music industry and how it leads to panda eyes in children. Right after he did that interview, he got arrested, went to jail. Okay? In that interview, it says here, when he started crying, talking about how grateful for God, that was 100. Okay? Someone said, "I love this guy. He might tell you a story, but he never tells you a lie." We're praying for you, Orlando. Now, why was he crying? Somebody wrote a comment under that interview. When he's telling you he fucked and sucked P. Diddy, he's telling the honest truth. Respect Orlando. This is so sad how Hollywood films destroyed this young man to where they want to make him look crazy. When this boy is highly intelligent, with plenty of intelligence, Hollywood will be burnt into flames. Facts. When I went to search for this interview, because he's done so many interviews, it was hard to remember which one he specifically talked about panda eyes. So I went on YouTube and I started typing Orlando Brown Pan, and then bam, Orlando Brown Panda Eyes, Orlando Brown Panda, Orlando Brown Panda Eyes interview, Orlando Brown Panda interview. Okay, guys? So it exists. And people have covered it. If you want to watch the long interview or the short one, it's out there. And notice how the word panda starts with pan, which is the name for that devil goat that does the bestiality, the anal, and the pedo activity, seducing the young people with the music. It says down here, Orlando Brown Panda Eyes interview exposed, music industry exposed. Orlando Brown was arrested after exposing this. Black Balloon Channel also did a video on this. Orlando Brown and the Panda Eyes ritual. Black Balloon is a great content creator exposing the work of the devil. This interview got Orlando Brown arrested. Speaks on Balenciaga. It says Orlando Brown drops major truth bomb in recent interview. Speaks on Balenciaga ad. Epstein Island and panda eye symbolism. Orlando Brown exposes how the Illuminati will kill him. He goes off. So the day he got arrested, which was literally like a week or two after he did the interview exposing Balenciaga, Epstein Island, and Panda Eyes, which is all about pedo activity, old, grown, rich people taking advantage of little kids in the worst ways possible. He had a psychotic breakdown a few weeks later that Orlando Brown went live on his own, social media, and he was threatening to set the house that he was in on fire. He filmed himself saying that he was going to burn the house down that he was staying in. And he was obviously having a psychotic break because he didn't make any sense. He was rambling. He was incoherent. Of course, Orlando Brown admitted in that interview he did just a couple of weeks before the arrest that he had a history of doing drugs, including meth. And people that do meth, they have like psychotic breaks where they become like, behave like people would when they're schizophrenic. Sometimes people are narcissistic or showing signs of great mental illness because of drug use. But then when they're clean and sober, they're not narcissistic and they're not paranoid or anything. Like they're normal again. So drug use can create psychotic breaks in people, especially if they already had mental illness before they even started doing drugs. But the fact of the matter is, Orlando Brown filmed himself threatening to burn the house down after he did that interview. So it's questionable. Is it because of his drug use, or did he have a psychotic break because he has prior mental illness? But the timing of it is what was suspicious. So someone made a TikTok about it. Panda eyes, Hollywood, Blueface, NBA Youngboy. NBA Youngboy, when he got out of jail, he was facing a lot of time. He had two federal cases. He had all kind of big old guns and whatnot. And when the cops were pulling him over, he tried to take them on a high-speed chase. And they were able to catch him. He eventually jumped out the car and was on foot. They caught him. They arrested him. He was in jail facing 2 different federal cases. And he beat both of the cases. And Youngboy signed a huge deal. Some ridiculous, I don't know, $50-60 million deal after he beat the 2 cases. And then he came out with this face makeup on. This panda eyes and lipstick. Right? Now recently, Youngboy did he did do an interview in which he said that he recognizes that his music is harmful and that it has led young kids to go to prison because they want to pick up guns and gangbang because of his influence on them. He said he wants to be responsible for turning his image around and affecting the kids in a positive way to make up for the way that he affected the kids negatively. So I have to say that because when I first started my channel, I sent out a warning to NBA Youngboy. So it's fascinating to see that he finally has made a public statement that he's going to turn himself around. But the point of this video is to say that after Youngboy beat his cases, this is how he showed up in public. Okay? Doing the panda eyes and wearing a face full of makeup. Blueface posted himself with panda eyes. Okay, now we know Blueface, he says, or I think he is trained in boxing, and we know that he gets into a lot of physical altercations with his girlfriend, and he gets into fights in public and stuff like that. But when people are like celebrities in the public eye and they start to have repetitive symbolism, you have to look at if they're in the devil's network, okay? And, you know, Blueface had a show on Zeus. I'm going to talk in a few minutes in this video about Orlando Brown being in the Zeus Network show. And I talked in the past in my Tokyo Tony videos about her doing those Zeus Network shows and how the Zeus Network is a devil network because Zeus is a Greek deity in Greek mythology that people actually worship in real life. But Zeus actually has the symbolism of the devil. In scripture, it says, I beheld Satan fall from the sky like a bolt of lightning. And so the Zeus character is represented by lightning bolts. All right. So when people are in these type of circles of symbolism in the mainstream media, you have to look at, you know, the fact that they actually are literally devil worshippers. But the side effect of that is the devil is just going to ragtag and drag them. And that's all that happens. All they do is get tortured and exposed. Lady Gaga still doing the panda eyes. Okay. All right. So now let's fast forward from 4 months ago to 3 weeks ago. Orlando Brown on Eddie Murphy Crazy Parties and says Hollywood secrets will never be revealed. 3 weeks ago, Orlando Brown pops up, does an interview. Someone put in the comments 2 weeks ago, man, that segment was nothing but a contradiction. His energy has changed. I knew he was going to come back different after that last arrest. All right. So 4 months ago, Orlando Brown does an interview exposing pedophilia in Hollywood. 3 months ago, after that interview, he gets arrested because he has a psychotic break. Now, 3 weeks ago, he shows up, does an interview, and people are saying that Orlando Brown's energy has changed. He's not exposing anything. In fact, he talked about keeping Hollywood secrets. The title of the video says Orlando Brown on Eddie Murphy crazy parties, and says Hollywood secrets will never get out. Okay? Just 4 months ago, you was telling it all, crying about how much you love God. Now, you're back to keeping the Devil Network secrets. Orlando Brown says some of these things that's going on here, when we hear about, like, hey, it's a wild sex party going on. Okay. The interviewer says, do you feel like there's a lot of stories that will come out in time now that social media is big? Or will it never come out? You feel like will it never come out? People will hold on to the water because some people came home, Oh, so Orlando Brown says, I'm supposed to be crowned the new king of Hollywood. None of that shit is ever coming out. What do you think holds that gate closed? Me. So the interviewer asked Orlando Brown, people been exposing the wild, crazy Hollywood parties. Do you think it's going to all come out? Orlando Brown says, I'm supposed to be crowned the new king of Hollywood. None of that shit is ever coming out. The interviewer said, what do you think holds that gate closed? Orlando Brown says, me. This is only 1 minute and 28 seconds into this interview. And I'm only reading from this 5 minute clip of it. 5 minute, 13 second excerpt from the whole hour long interview. Orlando Brown on Eddie Murphy crazy parties and says Hollywood secrets will never get out. So if you guys just watch this little 5 minute segment, you'll see him say within the first minute and 28 seconds that there's wild sex parties going on, and those stories will never come out because he's being crowned the new king of Hollywood, and he's never going to let it come out. He's going to hold that gate closed. Orlando Brown goes on to say certain people, he says that's why certain people don't get into those kind of parties. Because we don't know what you're thinking. Well, we don't want you here. Also, it's a selective process. It's a selective process, bro. You can't be just doing that kind of stuff. Okay? So now we're only 1 minute and 50 seconds into that 5 minute video. And Orlando Brown is saying saying that he's a part of the men who have the wild, crazy sex Hollywood parties. Orlando Brown is saying that he is one of them and they will not let other people get in because it's a selective process. Orlando Brown goes on to say, I'm the baby, so I am allowed. Then he goes on to say, but I don't go, what I'm saying. And out of respect for my big homies and everybody, you know what I'm saying? Have y'all fun. Y'all better do this. Okay? So he perceives the people who throw these parties now as his big homies. And he's the baby, so he's allowed to be there with the big homies. Once again, Orlando Brown, as a kid, with panda eyes. Someone in the comments underneath Orlando Brown saying that he's going to keep the Hollywood sex parties a secret They wrote a comment saying, I feel like he's being censored or something because we have seen interviews where he's been very truthful. And I feel like he's giving us a watered down version now. And someone said he's definitely holding back. And someone else said Orlando probably was thinking, y'all niggas ain't finna get me whacked for disclosing too much. So why did Orlando Brown make the sudden shift from 4 months ago exposing pedophilic acts in the entertainment industry to now saying he's the baby who's going to gatekeep it? This is a screenshot from the Black Balloons channel Shorts. And he has a short here about Faison Love on Bill Cosby's son being sacrificed in 1997. Crunchy Black, I think he's from 3-6 Mafia, exposes the zesty agenda in hip-hop. Orlando Brown on trading spirits. Cat Williams speaking on rappers being sacrificed in their city, and the panda eye. Okay? So this channel has a lot of good content talking about all of these different things and how all of these things are connected among people who are in the entertainment industry. All of these people are into all of these things because they worship the devil. The reason why Orlando Brown has changed his tune is because he was in jail until the Zeus Network bailed him out. The Zeus Network bailed Orlando Brown out of jail. And they had him agree to be I don't know what this is, a character on Bad Boys Texas, a Zeus original series. Now, there's about, I would estimate 12 people in this picture, in the cast. Here we have Orlando Brown looking goofy. 10 out of the 12 people in this picture are out of the closet homosexuals. 10 out of 12 are out of the closet homosexuals. You have Raz B, who was pedoed in the music industry. He's got the blonde hair now, after he talked about the industry doing that to him. You have Kirk Franklin's son, Kerryon, who made allegations that people assumed that he was speaking about his own father potentially having pedoed him when he was a child. Okay? And this is the cast that Orlando Brown has chosen to join because they bailed him, because the Zeus Network bailed him out of jail. So all of that talk about God went out the window. Now he's back with the devil people promoting homosexuality on the Zeus Network. This is Orlando Brown when he was just a little kid on the show with Urkel, Family Matters. He's been in the industry his whole life. Orlando Brown on, looks like the Jay Leno show. Little kid. Okay. Now Orlando Brown, because Zeus Network bailed him out of jail, he's throwing up the devil horns. All that talk about God is out the window now. He's back on demon time. Okay. Here's another shot from the Bad Boys show that he's now on. This is the day they bailed him out of jail. You can see he looks very rough. He hasn't had a shower yet. He's happy that the Devil Network came and bailed him out of jail. He's happy to now go and promote homosexuality. Here is Orlando Brown in an apartment that was provided for him by the Zeus Network. He's wearing the Zeus hat. He's wearing the orange Zeus outfit. People who are into Freemasonry, they say that the color orange is symbolic to Freemasons because the word orange adds up to the number 33. And Freemasons speak in codes that have different meanings. So they use numbers and letters in ways that they can communicate with each other anywhere, in public and private, and we wouldn't know what they were talking about. The orange is very significant to those people. This is the apartment that the Zeus Network provided for Orlando Brown when they bailed him out of jail. And that's him being super happy that the Devil Network came and got him. Here they are, the Zeus Network people, taking Orlando Brown to film the show. Okay. So here's another shot from that show. I found this first episode of that show on YouTube. I would not pay for Zeus Network. I happened to find this on YouTube. So I pulled up the transcript. Natalie Nunn is the host of this demonic show. All these guys do is fight. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's just demonic energy. So Orlando Brown was getting his hair cut in preparation for, I guess, the first episode or the photo shoot for the show or whatever. So Natalie Nunn says to him, so look, we're here. Like, you're about to meet the boys. We got the promo shoot today. You're getting your hair cut? Yeah. Yeah, what you doing? So Orlando Brown says, I'm getting the Zeus and the lightning bolts on the side right there. Yeah, I went kind of hard, you know. I got the Zeus on me, in me, you know. I'm seeing a little Zeus in me, you know what I mean? So, like, how you feeling? Like, just connecting, you know, put my mind around the fact that I'm actually out of jail and back to my life. It's gonna be lit, like real. They're about to turn it up. Oh, y'all about to turn it up? Hell yeah. So anyway, Orlando Brown is basically saying he got the Zeus tatted on the back of his head and the lightning bolts, not tatted, cut into the sides of his head. So he got Zeus on the back and then he got lightning bolts on both sides of his head because he's ready to turn up like hell. Okay? All because the devil people bailed him out of jail. And here he is with the Zeus in the back of the head, showing it off. And he was showing off the lightning bolts on the sides. Okay? Now, he's doing the devil horns again. He did the devil horns, I found like 3 to 5 times that he threw up the devil horns during the first episode of the show. So he's making it clear he's back on demon time. Here we have Kirk Franklin's son. You know, Kirk Franklin is a famous gospel singer. Here's his son doing the devil horns. And his son, Carry-On, also have the devil horns on his laptop. Okay? These industry people do not believe in God. You see, he got the Jesus cross necklace on. But he don't believe in God. He believes in the devil. Back to the interview 3 months ago, before Orlando Brown got arrested. Someone had put in the comment section under that interview where he was exposing child abuse in the entertainment industry. Someone said, I'm tripping too hard, but I'm still deciphering this. He's tapping into multiple energies and realms, and that's all I'll say. So somebody put in the comments, what do you mean by that? And someone else said, witchcraft. And someone else said, witchcraft, you're way off. Someone in the comments said about Orlando Brown a few months ago, 3 months ago, he seems to be 1 foot in with God and the other foot on the other side. To which someone replied, I guess that would be one of the explanations for knowing this. And someone said, I believe he has a relationship with God and has experienced his grace and mercy, but I also believe he is battling a spiritual warfare with addiction. Someone else replied and said, I don't think he's addicted to MK Ultra, but you know, Immortal Technique was. I just thought that was interesting because I talked about Immortal Technique being a demon and a government agent plant, all that type of weird stuff, faking like he's some type of revolutionary. So I thought it was funny somebody linked Immortal Technique to this. But anyway, back to Orlando Brown. Someone in the comments said the way his voice changes and sounds like different people when he jokes just lets me know that these people really do play roles. Someone else said, to the average person, he seems crazy and rambles, but to the open-minded, non-programmed, he makes perfect sense. I'm absolutely a fan. You notice he speaks tongues before he drops gems. So people are noticing that Orlando Brown is like going in and out of multiple characters or personalities in this interview. Someone says those demons are clawing at this man. It's like as soon as he says some real shit, the demons take over in order to shut him up. I feel so bad that these people get these people when they're young and put certain entities in them. If you have eyes to see, you can see how hard he's struggling with having so many demons trying to manifest at once. He came back for a second and he was crying because it's so hard for him to fight these entities from taking over him in this interview. Stephen Darby Ministries has an excellent sermon that he delivered. It's only about 37 minutes. He says, your celebrities are channelers. Stephen Darby Ministries exposed a lot of evilness in the entertainment industry. This is 9 years ago. All right. Your celebrities are channelers. And Stephen Darby was saying celebrities do rituals to become demon possessed, and that's what gives them the ability to perform and to act and sing and play sports at like a higher level than a normal person. Okay. So let's get back to Orlando Brown as a kid with panda eyes back in the day when he was on the Jamie Foxx show. All right. So he's got the dark black eyes going on. Prayers up. Jamie Foxx said this 2 hours before hospitalization, family grieving. Okay. So this was just April 13th, was about 3 weeks ago. All right. And Orlando Brown was connected to Jamie Foxx and showed up on screen with panda eyes on the Jamie Foxx show 20, 30 years ago. This is the last thing that Jamie Foxx said 2 hours before he got hospitalized. He looks fine right here. His eyes look black like he's demon possessed, but he looks healthy. He doesn't look tired or sick. Jamie Foxx said, first of all, I want to say thank you to all of the fans that have been supporting Alert Missing Persons Unit on Fox. Thanks to you, we are the #1 highest streamed show on Fox in the past 3.5 years. Thank you for that. And tonight, once again, we are on and we are tipping our hat and saying thank you for the service of all the people that make up the Missing Persons Division. Okay, 2 hours before Jamie Foxx was hospitalized, he went live and said his show is the #1 highest streamed show on Fox in the past 3.5 years, and they are supporting Alert Missing Persons Unit, some type of show that they do exposing missing persons. He says, bring up and strike up the conversations about missing persons. We see you on Twitter. We see you on all the other social media programs talking about people that may have gone missing and opening up that discussion. So tune in tonight. Continue to support. It's 9:00 p.m. on Fox. I know the football game is on, but DVR the football game and check us out, Alert on Fox, tonight, 9 p.m. Now, the football is the biggest thing in American culture. So for Jamie Foxx to go live and say he has a #1 rated program and he wants you to put the football down and watch his show talking about missing persons instead of watching the football game, and we ain't heard from Jamie Foxx since. 2 hours later, he was hospitalized. He's still been hospitalized 3 weeks after medical crisis, and all we've gotten is an Instagram post saying, appreciate all the love, feeling blessed. We ain't heard from Jamie Foxx since. Okay? So the problem is when people sign up to be a part of this industry and they partake in the devil rituals, they don't realize until it's too late that they've sold their soul. They've done too many things that go against God's creation, which everything was created for good. The rebelliousness against the Creator is what has changed things for the worse. And these people go along with the industry and keep the oath of silence so that they can get paid. That's why it's called selling your soul, because people are doing evil, wicked, harmful things for money, for a good life, for a big house and a fancy car. But then when the devil come to collect your soul, now you out here looking crazy. Now that they want to expose the industry is now clamping down on them, because wait a minute, you was all a part of it when it benefited you. You can't just pull out now. And this is why I tell you guys in all my videos, have your own direct and personal relationship with the Creator who put your soul in your body. God is worthy and deserving of all of our praise, honor, and glory. Don't be afraid of the devil. People, you have to give the devil permission to have power over your life. These people made a choice that they wanted to give all of their influence over the public from God giving them a talent. They decided they want to use that talent to deceive the masses and lead people down a demonic path. And then when that doesn't work out, eventually, because the devil is always going to make a deal and lie about it. The devil's like, yeah, I'm going to give you this. They never get what the devil promised. Then they get mad. Now they want to expose the devil. But you already signed yourself up to be under the devil's leadership. And so the devil deal with you the way the devil deals with you. But again, people, it's a choice. That's another gift from God. You have a choice. I just want to influence everybody. Work on your relationship with God. Because you don't want to end up where these people go when they pass away. And you don't want to end up where these people end up throughout the course of their life. Even as they are alive, they are constantly tortured by demons. They are constantly stabbed in the back by their own people in their own devil's network. So for all my people out there that love God, stay blessed, and I'll see you in my next video.